Title: Nobody from my family came to my graduation, not even my wife nor my kids. They all went to my brother's barbecue party instead. But when I walked off stage, my phone buzzed with a message from my wife. We need to talk, urgently. Chapter 1. A lonely applause. The auditorium was packed. Proud parents, spouses, children. Everywhere I looked, there were cheers and flashing cameras as names echoed across the stage. Everyone was surrounded by someone. Everyone. But me. I stood at the edge of the graduation stage, in my deep blue gown, cap in hand, heart quietly breaking beneath my formal smile. I had worked 3 jobs while attending night classes. I'd slept barely 4 hours a day for 4 years. This wasn't just a degree in business administration. It was proof that I hadn't given up on myself. I had done it for my family, for my wife, Karen, for my kids, Lily and Marcus. They had promised they'd be there. Front row, holding signs, Karen had laughed weeks ago. We'll scream so loud you'll cry. But now? As I scanned the rows during the ceremony, I realized something with a dull ache in my chest. Not one seat had been filled by someone I knew. They weren't late. They never came. And when my name was finally called and applause thundered through the hall, it rang hollow in my ears. I shook hands with the dean, accepted my diploma, smiled for the photograph, and walked off the stage like a ghost. When I stepped into the hallway, I finally pulled out my phone, hoping maybe there was a text saying they were stuck in traffic or had an emergency. But instead, there was a single message from Karen, time-stamped 20 minutes ago. We need to talk. Urgently. I stared at the words, numb. There were no missed calls, no apologies, just that. I unlocked the screen with trembling fingers. And the next message? I didn't want you to hear it from someone else, but I'm at your brother Ethan's place. We've been seeing each other. I didn't want to ruin your day, but I couldn't lie anymore. My vision blurred. The hallway tilted for a moment. My breath caught in my throat as I leaned against the wall. She had gone to his barbecue, not just instead of my graduation, but because she was with him, my wife, my kids, my entire family chose him. I looked back at the auditorium doors, at the echo of applause I never truly had. And then I took a deep breath. No rage, no screaming, no reply. Just one quiet thought forming in my mind like a blade being sharpened. Let's see how this plays out, Karen. I hope the barbecue was worth it. Chapter 2. The photos they didn't post. I walked out of the auditorium into the crisp air, my diploma folder tucked under one arm, my phone still in my hand. The laughter and chatter of other families surrounded me, photos being taken, hugs exchanged, tears of joy shed. And me? I stood alone on the sidewalk, staring at the message again. I'm at your brother Ethan's place. We've been seeing each other. Didn't want to ruin your day. Didn't want to ruin my day. On the day I achieved something no one believed I could. She had planned this. They all had. I tapped into Ethan's social media. His profile was public. Family BBQ, the caption said. Photos of the backyard lit up my screen. Karen flipping burgers, our daughter Lily in the pool, Marcus on Ethan's shoulders laughing like he had no father. My parents were there too, clapping, drinking, smiling, like I didn't even exist. I swallowed hard, and then something caught my eye. A photo Karen had posted but quickly deleted. I only saw it because Facebook glitched for a second. The image previewed before disappearing from her profile. I captured a screenshot. She was in Ethan's arms, kissing him, wearing the same red dress I bought her last Valentine's Day. The betrayal hit like a freight train, but strangely, there were no tears. Just focus. I got into my car and drove straight home. The house was empty, just as I expected. The place we built together, furnished with my bonuses, decorated with Karen's touch, was quiet, cold, like a museum of my own ignorance. I took a seat at the kitchen counter, opened my laptop, and pulled up 2 documents. A spreadsheet I'd been maintaining for years, a scanned copy of the deed to our house. Karen always thought I was just nerdy with money. What she didn't know was that every account had been logged, every transaction monitored, every signature verified with a dual auth system only I could access. I never told her I created a secondary LLC under my name the year before, diverting 30% of my side business income to it, just in case. Karen thought she emptied our joint savings that morning, but that was only the visible account. The real money was somewhere else, somewhere untouchable. I opened another browser tab and began making quiet preparations. Karen made a choice. So did Ethan. So did everyone else who laughed and toasted at that barbecue. But they didn't realize something. I had spent 4 years learning how to build a future from scratch. Now I was going to dismantle their world, methodically, quietly, legally. And when they finally noticed, it would already be too late. Chapter 3, Ethan's World, begins to crack 3 days past. I didn't respond to Karen's texts. I didn't answer Ethan's calls. Yes, he had the nerve to call me. Instead, I worked silently. At night, I laid in my quiet house, not crying, not raging, but calculating. Every plan they made, every betrayal they plotted, I turned it into fuel. Friday morning, I sent a single email to the HR department at Ethan's firm. Subject line: conflict of interest and internal misconduct, urgent. Attached were screenshots of Karen and Ethan's affair, time-stamped, copies of company expense reports Ethan had illegally used to book hotel rooms and trips with Karen over the past 18 months. A forwarded email thread from Karen's Gmail she never logged out of on my laptop. In it, she mentioned, "Don't worry, he's clueless. I'll milk his graduation distraction and clean the joint accounts out next week." I didn't send the email as myself. I sent it anonymously, from a burner account created at a public library downtown. By Saturday night, the fallout had begun. Ethan's LinkedIn changed to open to work. Karen's Instagram went dark, but that wasn't even the best part. Sunday morning, my lawyer friend James met me for coffee. "You sure you want to do this?" he asked, sliding over the signed property transfer and account protection documents I had prepared. "Absolutely," I replied. Let them feel what they thought I'd never do. Fight back. I had protected my retirement accounts, my hidden LLC income. The house, which, due to a quiet premarital agreement Karen never read properly, was never fully in her name. And the custody rights to my kids, thanks to her documented abandonment during my graduation and multiple texts expressing her intentions to leave the family. James smiled. They picked the wrong guy to underestimate. I nodded. They picked the right guy to bury them, quietly. That night, Karen finally showed up at the house, banging on the door, sobbing, wearing her betrayal-like makeup she hadn't washed off in days. "Please," she begged. "You haven't answered me. I'm so sorry. Ethan lost his job. Mom and Dad are furious. I didn't mean for it to go like this." I opened the door halfway, just enough for her to see my face. Calm, not broken. "Karen," I said evenly, "this house isn't yours anymore. You'll be receiving a formal notification from my lawyer by morning. Check the mailbox." Her lip trembled. I added, "And one more thing. You told me to watch my graduation through Google Earth?" I smirked. "I hope you enjoy watching the rest of your life unravel the same way, from a distance." Then I closed the door, and I didn't look back. Chapter 4. Burnt Bridges and Frozen Accounts. By Monday, the aftermath had escalated to something far beyond Karen's worst nightmares. She tried to log into our joint bank accounts and found they were locked. She tried to use her credit card, declined. She drove to the bank in a frenzy, only to be calmly informed, "Ma'am, these accounts were closed 2 days ago. The funds have been legally transferred to Mr. Taylor's protected trust, as per pre-existing agreements." "Is this a mistake?" "I'm his wife," she snapped. "Ex-wife," the clerk corrected her gently. "He filed for divorce this morning." Karen stormed out of the bank, humiliated, only to find her car booted, not because of me, because Ethan had leased it under his company's name, and now that he was fired, his employer had rescinded all privileges. The keys didn't even work anymore. She sat on the curb, dialing Ethan. He didn't answer, because he was too busy being interrogated by his company's legal team, with internal auditors tearing through his emails and expense reports. That night, I received a message from a blocked number, a video. It was Karen, sobbing, in what looked like a motel room, makeup running, voice cracking. Please, can we talk? I made a mistake. I don't even know why I did it. He's not who I thought he was. I just thought you didn't care, but you always did, didn't you? You were always the stable one." I didn't reply. I forwarded it to my lawyer. And then, for the first time in weeks, I slept soundly. 2 weeks later, the divorce proceedings were swift and brutal. For her, Karen lost all rights to the house, custody of our kids, due to her documented emotional abandonment. Any claims on my inheritance, thanks to watertight legal prep and Ethan. He was under investigation for embezzlement, his lavish lifestyle. Gone, his alpha status, laughed at in his industry. And Karen? She moved in with her mother, the same woman who once told me I was lucky to marry her daughter. I received one final letter in the mail, handwritten, from Karen. It ended with, "I never thought you'd be capable of this kind of revenge. You were always the quiet one." I smiled. She finally got it. Quiet doesn't mean weak. Quiet means watching, preparing, and striking when it counts. Epilogue. The graduation photo that went viral. 6 months later. I stood in the auditorium lobby, dressed in a dark tailored suit, shaking hands with the university dean as a gold plaque was handed to me. Outstanding non-traditional graduate of the year, Jonathan Taylor. Behind me, a reporter from the local news station waited to interview me. Not just because I graduated top of my class at 42, but because my story had gone viral. How? Someone had captured a photo of me walking across the stage alone, clutching my diploma with no cheering family, then included a second photo of me standing beside a charity banner the very next day that read, "Supporting Forgotten Fathers, a foundation for men who raise others, yet are left behind." The story of the quiet father abandoned on his graduation day, who later exposed his wife's affair, took full custody of his kids, and started a non-profit to support other men in similar situations, had touched hearts nationwide. Karen? She tried to spin the story online, but screenshots of her message, "We need to talk, urgently," were already trending. Ethan, out of work, facing multiple lawsuits. His LinkedIn bio now read, "Open to opportunities." My kids, back in my life. Not because I forced them, but because they saw the truth unfold over time. I didn't poison their minds. I let reality do the work. And as for me, I never wanted revenge to be loud. I never wanted to destroy anyone. I just wanted peace. But when peace is stolen from you, sometimes, justice wears the face of quiet, calculated patience. Final line. They watched me walk alone once, but in the end, I walked away with everything they lost. Was this revenge perfectly justified? Tell us what you have think about this story in the comments below. Like the story, if you think this story is justified, share it with someone who needs this energy. and subscribe to Lauren's story for more jaw-dropping tales of betrayal and justice. Because here, every lie has its reckoning, and every betrayal finds its shadow. Stay sharp, stay strong, and stay tuned.